This is the plaintiff, Dennis Nelson. He says he owns a dog grooming business, and the defendant's refusing to pay him for his services. He has no idea what's up with the flaky defendant and doesn't know what she's trying to pull. But now's their day in court, and he's going to get his $587.81, the money he's owed. This is the defendant, Michelle Ravello. She says she was quoted a price of $130 per dog for each of her 2 dogs. And when he was done, he told her she owed him $587.81. Huh? Is he crazy? Can he quote her one price and then overcharge her and get away with it? She doesn't think so. And she doesn't think the judge will either. She's accused of clipping a groomer.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Dennis Nelson, you are suing on behalf of your company. You don't want us to use the company name, but you're groomers?
Yes, Your Honor. We're groomers, doggy daycare, and boarding facility.
You are suing Michelle Ravello for $587.81 that you say she owes you for grooming.
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
Ms. Ravello dropped off her dogs for the grooming services. She was quoted a price at that point.
Was she quoted a price at drop-off or on the telephone?
A combination, Your Honor.
Okay, who quoted her the price?
Mr. Timothy.
Can you come on out?
Bay the Fluffer.
Were you the person who greeted her that day when she brought the dogs, or were you
Yes.
the person who talked to her on the phone, or both?
I greeted her in person.
And when she got in there, did she talk to you about price, or did you talk to her about
Yes, she
price?
immediately asked me, and I called my my groomer, and I asked her what she thought they should pay, and I sent her a photo of the dog, and she told me a price, and I immediately told the customer.
Okay, so you do all that while she's standing there?
Yeah,
She was according to you, you quote what price?
It was $200 to $250 per dog. I would have to see how much work it would take me to demat the dogs while I'm bathing and the whole haircut.
Okay, what kind of dogs are these?
Golden Doodles.
Okay, what are they?
Golden Doodles.
Oh, golden doodles. I thought you said cocoa doodles. And I'm like, cocoa doodles. They're mixing these breeds with everything. All right, so go ahead.
I took the dogs in, and I started bathing both of them. I mean, one at a time. I took the mats out. It took me an hour and a half for the first one. Then I bathed the dog, fluffed it out. Took me a couple more hours.
To bathe, dry, and fluff the dog?
One dog, yeah. It's fine work. To
Yeah.
get the hair is nice and straight. Poodles, they have a curly coat, and you have to get the hair straight. So then she has a good opportunity to cut the hair nice and even.
And then the person behind you is named?
Marina.
Okay, can you switch?
Yes.
And then Marina, what do you do?
I do the hand scissoring.
What's
Like,
the hands at me, your hand,
yeah,
not
no
the dog's
clippers
paw.
are used.
All right,
Yeah,
so
just-
you do the haircut. All right, and hand scissoring. All right,
Yes.
and was there something fancy about this hand scissoring?
Yes.
Okay, what was fancy about
I basically don't use any clippers or any machines. I just do the entire dog by hand with scissors.
Okay.
And it's not like a dog this big.
How big is the dog?
I have a photo next to the dog, so
Yeah.
you could see, but it's my entire torso. It's
Okay.
like this, standing next to me.
Yeah, let me
Be
see
able
the
to
photo. While she's looking, let me talk to you. According to you, you had a conversation on the telephone with them first. This is the first time you've used them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I said I have 2 golden doodles. Depending on the price that you give me, will determine whether I bring both or one at a time. And I said, what's the most that you charge for a golden doodle? And she told me no more than $130.
Total.
Yes, for each dog, not for both of them, for each dog. And she said that teeth brushing, which it says in the pamphlet, but then later on it wasn't included. But
Okay, let me see the pamphlet.
And it doesn't say anything about separate dematting fees, and it says the teeth brushing is included, which I was told I was going to be charged extra for.
A podicure, a podicure. That's adorable. It actually doesn't have anything about it doesn't say it's included. It says includes wash and dry, ear cleaning, teeth brushing, and podicure. She was charged separately for teeth brushing, $10 for each dog for teeth brushing. Why was that?
That's our typical pricing. Is it?
Except for that it's not, because I'm looking at your pamphlet that says that it's included in the standard groom.
That is an old pamphlet and should have been changed, but I acknowledge that.
Okay, so the dematting fee, does this pamphlet talk about dematting? Okay, because not every dog needs to be dematted.
Correct.
Right? So, and it doesn't say it includes dematting. Okay, so you've had your dogs groomed before, right? So you know that they'll charge you for dematting.
No, actually, I've taken to my dogs to one guy. He charges me, doesn't tell me any separate prices, $100, the most $110 with the tip I give
So
him.
why were you switching if he was so great?
Because he was out of service for the whole week, and I needed them to look nice for a birthday party I was throwing for him at my aunt's house in her backyard.
Throwing for who?
For Noah.
You were throwing a birthday party for the dog?
Yes.
So you needed the dog to look nice? Yeah, hey, man, your money. You can spend it however you deem fit.
Happy birthday to Pooh. The testimony continues.
So then you're in a position where you say, okay, promise to pay.
They trust us with the care of their dog. I trust they're going to pay us.
How'd that work out for you?
In this case, poorly.
The plaintiff is a dog groomer who gave the defendant's dog a fancy wash and cut, and they say they got stiffed. But the defendant says they were grossly overcharged. Let's listen.
All right, so now, are you there that night when she picks up the
Yes.
dog? Okay, so she comes and what happens?
She tried to pay with a credit card, and she tipped me.
When you say obviously she knew the price, even you guys don't tell them what the price is going to be because you don't know how long it's going to take you to demat.
No, what happens is I called in between.
Her?
Yeah, we spoke on the phone twice.
Okay.
Actually, the first time I called her, told her exact breakdown. I told her $10 extra for teeth. I told her how much extra for dematting. I told her how much the haircut for each dog was. And she said, okay.
What
Then
was it you said?
I told her the price for the one dog was more. It will be $75 for dematting because it's much more matted. And the other dog was less matted. It was $25 for dematting. So she agreed to it.
The haircut price you told her when? Because you're
told-
charging $240 for one haircut and $190 for another, and that's not the $130 she says she was quoted.
No. I quoted her the price, which I texted them. It was $200, between $200 and $250. That was the quote.
Do you have the text from you to him saying
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Let me see
Yes.
that in your phone. I like it in the phone, not photocopied.
Oh, yes. This one, and that's the photo when he sent me the dog.
Okay, so at 11, a picture gets sent to her, and she specifically tells him, yeah, tell them around $200 to $250, depending on the haircut. So if she texts him that, why would I believe that he told you anything but what she texted him?
He didn't tell me a price. He was telling me she wasn't there on time and to look at the pictures of other golden doodles that they've done to see if I was interested in that look. I waited 15 minutes, still didn't show up, which is when he told me to write down my number on a piece of paper that she would call me, and she did. And he gave me her number, and I was able to text her what I wanted and the pictures that I wanted, but in no time in the messages did she say the price. I have the messages on my phone.
Let me see the messages. You communicating by text?
Yeah, the entire day she was extremely happy with my haircut.
I
and
was.
I was showing her everything and all the work. It took all day for me to do these two dogs, both of us working very hard.
But are you complaining about how the work was, or you like the work?
I love the
You're
work.
just shocked about the price.
Exactly. I love the work.
Is this her dog?
Yes.
Oh, it's just fat. It's like they're red carpet ready. At one point, she does text you, and this is at 4:47. Cooper.
Oh, I don't know that dog. She was telling me something about Cooper. I don't know who that dog is.
Well, why is she talking about Cooper if you don't know who the dog is?
I don't know. She was telling me that Cooper was $300
What?
because of his mask.
Who's Cooper?
No, Cooper is just a client of ours that is the same as her dog. It's
Okay.
the same kind of dog you could see in the photos. They look exactly
But
the
he's
same.
much bigger.
So
Okay.
he's exactly the same work. He is a little bit bigger, and that's why I charge a little more, which obviously you see the
Okay,
price.
so but
I
at
charge
4 something,
$300.
she's saying they paid $300 last
Yes.
time I scissored Cooper, and that's without taking the knots out.
Yeah.
$300 just for the haircut?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, scissoring the entire dog.
And
with
your
no
answer is, oh my
clippers.
God. When you're done, take a selfie with both of them separately so I can post it on Snapchat. OMG, beautiful job, Marina. And then there's a bitmoji of you flying in the air, current mood. OMG, 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 OMG. And she asked you to write a Yelp review. What happened? So you get there and you're ready to pay, but you guys are shut down. You can't take...
Only our shift manager has access to the register. That's
Okay,
straightforward.
so it's just not the way you roll. So then you're in a position where you say, okay, promise to pay.
They trust us with the care of their dog. I trust they're going to pay us.
How'd that work out for you?
In this case, poorly.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is the only time I've come to.
How long have you been in business?
Me personally, 1.5 years.
Okay.
So one incident in 1.5 years, it's
If you can take those averages, that's fine.
right.
I will write a Yelp review by tonight. Don't think I forgot. I always recognize good work. Everyone should see that work. And then you don't pay. And so now there's text from her to you saying, you guys haven't paid. Can you write the review on Yelp and can you pay? And then a month later, I cannot believe you guys can do this to a salon. I was so honest with you and put so much work. This is from Marina. Spent so many hours and hours on the work just so you don't get back a shaved dog and get exactly what you asked for. I have everything on record. I will be seeing you guys in court. I cannot believe you would do this and take this far and just not pay us what you owe us. I gave you a clear breakdown of the price in front of our salon camera. Do you have it on camera?
We have recordings, but unfortunately, by the time I had called, it's long past.
What's the point of the recordings if every answer I always get is the one you just told me? It's re-recorded on top of it. Well, you knew you had a problem because you hadn't gotten paid. So how often does it re-record? Every day it records on itself?
No, it's about a 10 to 12 day cycle.
That night you looked at me and said, I can't believe you guys trust people to pay later. People wouldn't pay, but that's not my case. I would never not pay. This saddens me, but karma bites.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if you take your dog to a groomer and you pick up the dog and the dog's teeth aren't cleaned and they say that's extra, should that be part of the grooming cost? Do they have to do that as part of grooming?
No, by virtue of the word grooming, I would think that would imply just cutting the hair, brushing the hair, the exterior.
Getting the plaque out of teeth? I don't know.
I would agree with him. I would just assume that it meant like haircut, cleaning.
What about dematting a dog that has a lot of fur? Is that included in the base price when you who has dogs here? Big dogs with fur? Okay. Dematting, is that part of the grooming process or can they charge extra for that?
They charge extra for that just because it's more work.
Okay. Well, a big dog's, I guess, more work too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure we answered anything. Going inside the courtroom.
Listen, I do see in the text where she's talking to you about, it having cost $300 for one dog for a haircut that was a dog similar to yours, and you say, OMG, but you don't say stop everything. I was told 130. I mean, I think you really liked how these dogs came out, and you were ready to pay. You whip out your credit card. You're not like, what do you mean? What's the meaning of this? You whip out your credit. The only reason you didn't pay that night is because they didn't have a means to take your pay. You were whipping out your credit card to pay $587.
Not that.
Well, what did you think you were going to pay when you whipped out your credit card?
I thought I was going to pay $130 each.
I'm sorry, when did you get the invoice that told you otherwise?
They didn't give me an invoice until they sent it to me days after.
Okay, so that night, are you handing her anything or no?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. It was closed. I just told her the price, and that's it. She just knew the price, and I told her he will call and collect the payment.
So what did you tell her? You told her $587?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I wouldn't pay this to groom my dog, okay? She doesn't need to have this 8 hours of, she's lucky if she gets in the shower and I take care of business. Or if I'm lazy, then I'm paying somebody under $100. I can tell you that right now. However, I don't begrudge you that opportunity. You can do whatever you want. You work hard for your money and you get to spend it however you want. If you want a golden lollipop, buy it. But see, if I'm seeing two separate instances where you're warned about a price and that warning is so totally separate from what you are maintaining it was going to cost, okay? Then you weren't in the market for a $100 job per dog, because you know what a $100 job looks like. It's the one that you got that you were unhappy with. I am ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case, minus the teeth brushing, for $567.81. Good luck, folks.
Well, believe it or not, the plaintiffs prevail. $567. You go step right around here, Billy.
Oh, sorry.
For grooming 2 dogs. I would have had a heart attack if they told me $587. Will you go back to this parlor?
Absolutely not.
Can't afford it. Come on. Okay. Well, listen, thank you very much. Sorry you ended up in court here. Okay?
Thank you.
And goodbye. Okay. Here comes Mr. Nelson and his team. Mr. Nelson, if you'll step over here, please. Yes, sir. I'm intrigued. I didn't hear. What city are you guys located in?
New Jersey, Weehawken.
Is this the going rate in Weehawken, New Jersey, to do dogs?
Honestly, we're probably slightly higher than local average, but we kind of provide
I got to believe half the people in this country have a heart attack hearing $587.
I have no doubt.
No doubt, yeah. Was the dog really that bad?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, really matted?
Yes,
The other
yes.
thing is, what do you do to hand cut a dog? I mean, they do that for actresses in Hollywood. What do you do to a dog to hand cut it that makes it so unique?
I scissor pretty evenly.
Yeah? Is it necessary?
No, and that is why you get to choose whether you want, this upscale look, or
Okay.
you want, just a pet cut.
Just a nice pet cut.
Yeah, exactly. And I give the option. You could get a shape down or a scissor.
Well, sorry about that. Do you do this a lot? I mean, for a lot of your patrons get that service?
Yeah, actually, we have
Really,
a
you do?
few
Okay.
same kind of dogs that are charged the same.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You should feel good, Okay, good enough. On your way. Harvey?
Look, the defendant's own knowledge of dog grooming killed her in this case. She went into this eyes wide open. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.